Welcome back to another episode of By the Common Man. I'm your host, Ardell Jackson. I want to thank everybody for subscribing, liking the videos, supporting the movement. As I said before, By the Common Man isn't a brand, it's a movement. Today, I want to talk about something that's been on my heart for a while, and that's legacy. And I've always heard people say that a person isn't truly remembered by the things that they own, but because of what they left behind. That got me thinking. Truly did. It got me thinking a lot. What is legacy? And what does legacy mean to you? Definitely drop me a comment letting me know what legacy means to you. Is it money? Is it houses? Is it cars? Or is it something much, much deeper? Much deeper. To me, legacy isn't about what you leave for people, the material. It's about what you leave inside. It's about the lives you touch, the encouragement you gave, the encouragement you give, the lessons you teach, the love you've shown while you were here. We need to think about that. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. I've made mistakes. I'm sure you've made mistakes. I've said things I wish I could have taken back. I'm sure you said things you wish you could have taken back. And I've handled situations out of frustration, out of pride, out of anger, immaturity. If I could go back, there are conversations I would definitely have differently with folks. There are people I would apologize to. That's part of growth. There are moments I would handle with more wisdom, more maturity, and I'm sure that's how we all look at things. And that's probably how we all are thinking now. But the biggest thing is that's part of growing. That's part of growing. That's part of becoming who we are, who we created to become. Legacy isn't about pretending you've always had it all together. That's not legacy. You can't pretend legacy. Because people know the real. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. It's definitely about becoming better than you were yesterday. I think it's interesting how people often wait until someone passes away before they truly celebrate them. We should be celebrating each other now. Suddenly we hear stories after stories about how they inspired people, how they changed someone's life, how they helped someone through a difficult situation or a difficult, challenge, difficult issue. And then you begin to realize, that a person's greatest wealth wasn't what they owned or what was in their bank account. It was the impact they made on other people. That's crazy powerful when you really sit down and think about it. So let me ask you. Let me ask all of you. What do you want people to remember you when they hear your name? Will they remember your kindness? Will they remember your character? Will they remember your integrity, your willingness to help, your willingness to go beyond? Or will they remember that you were just someone that just existed, simply existed? Those are questions every one of us should be asking ourselves. And it's something that we all should, at some point, we're all going to have to answer. One of the reasons why I started the By the Common Man was because I wanted to leave something behind that mattered. I wanted my children to know that their father wasn't perfect, because I would be lying to them if I told them. But I want them to know that their father never stopped growing, never stopped loving, never stopped caring. I want them to see that you can make mistakes as a young person, a young man, a young woman, and learn from them. Change, and still become the person that you're supposed to become. The person who helps others, the person who has a kind heart, the person who you were built to be. That's what this platform is all about. That's what this platform truly is all about. If one episode encourages one person, if one conversation changes one life, that's worth every moment, every minute, every day that I get on here. You know, as a Gen X kid, child of the 70s, man, I remember growing up differently. You know, we rode our bikes until the street lights came on. We played basketball, football for hours. We spent time outside. We learned lessons face to face with our friends. You know, we didn't have smartphones to tell us who we should be or who we should become. Life wasn't perfect for us by no means. It was never perfect for us. We all know that. But those experiences helped shape us and shape who we ultimately became. You know, today's world is different. Today's world is definitely different. I tell my kids that all the time. You know, the pressures are different. Distractions are different for these kids and for adults as well. That's why I believe conversations like these matter more than anything, and more now than ever before. Every single one of us has a purpose, a gift. Every one of us has a gift inside of us. We were born with it. But we've been told for so long that, you know, we've been told what our gifts are to be. But we have them deep down inside, and we have to search deep to find that gift. Find that gift and let that gift shine out across the world, across everyone we come in contact with, everyone we touch. Yeah, I truly believe that. I truly do. Every person was created with gifts. Every person was and has something valuable to offer this world. Even when life gets hard for all of us, even when we feel overlooked or overwhelmed, passed by, even when we feel like we don't even matter, you matter. Understand that you matter. We all matter. We all have a purpose. The fact that you woke up this morning, that means your story isn't over. It's not over. The game isn't over. You woke up this morning, you have another quarter. You have another shot at it. You have another shot at winning. And life itself is winning. There's still purpose inside of you. There's still work for you to do, of course. That's for all of us. There's still things that still have to be done. You know, in one of my previous episodes, I talked about how words have power, right? They have power over your spirit. So stop speaking defeat over your life. You have to stop doing that. Instead of saying I can't, say I'll find a way. Instead of saying I'm not enough or I'm not good enough, say I'm still growing. You know, life is difficult. Life is difficult. We all know that. It's difficult. Nobody escapes hardships. I've experienced it. You've experienced it. I've experienced challenges at work. I've experienced challenges as a coach. I've experienced challenges and I've experienced challenges as a player. I've experienced victories that felt crazy amazing. And I also felt the losses and the hurt that just burned deeply inside of me. You know, as a coach, people celebrate you when you win. You know, we used to always say that. You know, when you lose, they question everything. They question your plays, they question your system, they question your philosophies, question if you're even good enough and you handle the pressure. But that's the same way in life. That's life. People will praise you when you're down and criticize you. Gosh, and you know, the next moment they had. You can't build your identity on other people's opinions. You have to believe in yourself. You truly do. You have to believe in yourself. You have to keep fighting. You have to keep fighting for everything. You have to keep showing up each and every day. Because your legacy isn't built in your victories alone. It's not. They never are. It's built in how you respond to the adversity that you face, the challenges that you face. That's what I want this podcast to be about. That's what I want this podcast to become. A place where people find hope, encouragement, confidence. A place where people find purpose, growth, healing, love, kindness. A place where people realize they still have greatness inside of them and they still have work that needs to be done. I want people to believe they can start businesses, write a book, become a better parent, strengthen their marriages, heal from pain, find confidence and find purpose in everything. Leave a legacy, a true legacy, an extraordinary legacy. You know, I've spent years giving back through coaching, working a full-time job at the same time. You know, coaching college basketball, coaching high school ball, coaching AAU, traveling, sacrificing my time. Not because it made me rich, because it made me fulfilled. Watching young people grow in their confidence and becoming confident adults. That's legacy. Giving someone a blueprint for success, hope. That's legacy. So today, I want to leave you with this one question. If your story ended today, what will people say your legacy is? And if the answer isn't what you want it to be, don't get discouraged. The good news is what? You still have tomorrow. You still have today. You still have another opportunity to become the person that you were created to be, the extraordinary person you were created to be. That's powerful. That's true. Embrace it. Live it. Thank you for joining me today. Man, powerful. You know, this is a movement. And I appreciate everybody for just being a part of it, for supporting it. You know, life throws a lot of things at us all the time, but we can get through it by having a community of people that's willing to support each other, love each other, encourage each other, lift each other up, and bring hope into each other's lives. A community of love, not hatred, but love. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, folks. A movement to help extraordinary things happen for ordinary people. A movement to help ordinary people discover extraordinary purpose and extraordinary things. I'm your host, Ardell Jackson. This is By the Common Man. Have a safe and blessed 4th of July. Peace and blessings, and until next time.